And oh shit. Good morning, everybody. All right. So this is the Earth round. It's a sweet Earth you might say. All right. Morning, everybody. Oh yeah. This is Justice's Waiting Room. This is a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. Hey, good morning. Every morning we listen to. I have too many tabs open. Should post that. No, I meant. I said this. I don't have it. Okay. Morning, everybody. If you would please direct your attention to my latest video where I unveil our new protest logo. Okay. I love making stuff like that, but I have a degree in graphic design, and one of the things that I've learned in my life that a lot of people don't know is that, well, I went to graphic design school and I learned like how fucking powerful it is. It's like being an artist in the modern day is fucking volatile. It's wildly powerful. People who grow up and want to be artists, like I fucking commend you. As I've said many a time, the pen is mightier than the sword. What do you think I think of the paintbrush, right? Um, you get over to the YouTube chat. As I say, probably got people in there. Somebody's dog's barking, but it's like on the wrong side of the house. It'd be a dick measuring contest if they're all in the same room. Yeah. Morning, Angie, Deb, Allison. What up, Z? And I think we got to go pretty hard, a lot harder than we did yesterday on this, because people are asking what the fuck happened with this group chat. And so I want to make sure that I say what I can vouch for being true based on mine eyes. Having actually read the fucking, first of all, I read it. I saw it. I saw the screen caps that the editor in chief of the fucking Atlantic took of this signal chat that he was mistakenly invited to. So understand, they did all of this under the premise of getting away with it. Okay, I want to make sure we lead with that. Okay, good morning, Crystal, S&M. I want to make sure we lead with they thought they were doing this under the guise of getting away with it. In fact, in Project 2025, one of the things it talks about is using messaging platforms that are going to allow them to escape culpability. Okay? So understand part of the problem. Good morning. What up, Gay Rush? Part of the problem is like they didn't know that they were being watched. They didn't know that someone took screenshots. Okay? And so yesterday, I want to make sure we talk about who was doing what. Okay. And again, I'm not trying to be 100% right. I'm trying to get right what I saw. I saw Hegseth. That's SecDef. I saw JD Vance. I saw Waltz. I'm trying to remember if there was anyone else that I could verify that was in this group chat between Waltz, Hegseth, and Vance. Those are the names I can remember, like off the top of my head. Yeah, they were doing it knowing that those text logs get deleted. Was Tulsi Gabbard in that text message? I didn't actually know she was in that text chain. Okay. So, again, I said what I knew. I don't want to be those people that, oh, you fucking lied. Like, no, 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 no. I read the fucking text chain. I know for a fact who I saw speaking. JD Vance, Hegseth, Waltz, and again, somebody said Cruella DeVille was in there too. Yeah. Okay. First things first, they lied under oath when they were asked if there were any classified details disseminated via that Signal chat. All of them said no, or that they didn't remember. Tulsi Gabbard said she didn't remember. All of this conversation took place before that engagement with the Houthis. Okay. And this hearing yesterday, they lied. And the editor in chief of The Atlantic last night released that entire text chain, and it is fucking everywhere, as it should be. Morning, JJ. Joanne. Yeah, right. Lie, deny, deflect. Yeah. Okay. So the evidence is just public record. Pretty damning. Okay. And Pete Hegseth, the SecDef, wants to sue The Atlantic. And again, this all very narcissistic out of this regime. The narcissism reeks almost as bad as I'm sure alcohol does on Pete Hegseth. By the way, somebody is calling this, and I want to make sure I tell my audience, somebody is calling this whiskey leaks, and I think that's fucking hilarious. And I am for this. Oh, I mean, other than like their political careers are basically over. Keg Seth, that's man. I used to drink to hide the pain, and now I only drink to celebrate. So I was never hit that bad, for the record. I was a social drinker. At best, I just got a little too habitual. And I think anyone who takes a clean stock at their life that was like a social person that drank alcohol 4 or 5 nights a week for fucking couple decades can agree. Okay, it's alcoholism is alcoholism. Okay, I'm just a very strong-willed person. That's what I've learned. So yes, my wife and I quit drinking and smoking cigarettes cold turkey and have not relapsed, and it's been years, and I have no intentions in doing so. Some people are just built different, where you can do things like cold turkey quit stuff. Yeah, hardly anything to celebrate, right? So, obviously, if you watch my latest video, I made that Tesla logo that I'd been talking about. I literally went and stole the Tesla font. I downloaded it illegally, and I don't even know if it's illegal. It's free on the internet. But yeah, don't pay for fonts. Especially don't pay for the fucking Tesla font. Okay. But I downloaded that font and then I flipped the Tesla logo upside down and I made that Tesla logo. It's on my social media. So here, for those of you wondering like who's this idiot that I hang out with all the time, here you can find me. Um, and I'll tell you to steal it. It's public domain. Put that on a t-shirt, put that on a sign. Tesla, right? with the upside down Tesla logo, and I'll be damned if it doesn't look like a little KKK hat. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. How did I know? How in the world? You know what I mean? It's about 28 people in here. It's about a classroom worth of people. So hey, if I had a classroom full of kids, I'd say, listen, regardless of what's going on in the world, you have to control what you can control. You need to get 8 hours of sleep. If you need to take a nap, you need to take a nap. Okay? And then you need to hydrate and eat right. And if you're going to do that stuff, you might as well exercise. And I'll keep taking it a step further. If once you are able to do these three basic things, get 8 hours of sleep at night or take a nap, you remember you can never get it back. If you miss out on that sleep, you just miss out on that sleep. But you could take a nap and it could reset you. You could wake up and be your best. Okay? But without a full night's rest, you are not. Okay? And I've figured out as a result of great study, I have to study a lot because I'm dumb. How do I break this down so people can figure this out? Okay? When fully rested, you could meet 100% of the demands of the day. And you do this often, and most people are doing just fine. They don't report sleeplessness as like a grave concern. It's like, it sucks, but like, okay, most people sleep fine. If you struggle to sleep at night, one of the things that I've learned is that I gotta cater my message to adults too and say, hey, whatever you're doing during the day, it's gotta lead you to peaceful sleep at night. I know that there's a lot of people that have never been told this, right? There's plenty of people that have never been told, hey, you gotta do enough during the day that you can just go to bed and sleep at night. That you're actually tired when your head hits the pillow. And I think a lot of people I'm like this too. I started a new job and I got read to filth by my own phone yesterday. My phone hit me up and it was like, "Hey, you usually get 10,000 steps a day, and in the last 2 months you've done half of that." I got a full-time job. I've been sitting down working, right? Yeah, it is. S&M. It's great. That's why you got to give it away. It's art. So I don't know if I was saying that earlier. I went to graphic design school. So I know how powerful imagery can be. And it sounds so fucking lame to say it out loud. But I've always felt like it's such a powerful fucking tool that I would never do that for a living. That I literally got a degree with the GI Bill from the US government. They fucking pay for that. Y'all pay for that shit. And I was like, I just want to make better memes, actually. Um, I'm not a capitalist. I didn't get that degree and think I can't wait to go work for someone and use this skill I acquired. I learned graphic design and I was like, oh shit, bro, I would never do this for someone else. Like, you don't have enough money. You know what I mean? Like, we did a redesign for a business and they told us after we presented the redesign of their what that shit looked like, and the company came to us with two checks, and it was more than we had contracted for, and we were just like, there, we don't know how much to pay you. That's how powerful it is. So I knew 15 years ago. I went to graphic design school. I know how powerful images and logos and memes and shit are. And like I said, when I got that education, I was getting great grades and shit, and my projects were fucking hot. And especially like in a group environment, like I succeed in a group. I got into like project management classes, and I was like, oh shit. I would never do this shit if it wasn't for like something I could support. I couldn't just go work. One of my best friends for a long time, he's an Air Force veteran. He's an artist at Monarch Beverage. He did all of the beer posters and calendars and all kinds of shit for all these beers, right? That the Monarch distributes. And man, they paid him like shit. And everywhere we went, that dude's shit was on you know, in the gas station, in a liquor store, in a grocery store. He'd be like, everywhere we went, he was fucking everywhere. He was the graphic artist. He went to the Art Institute in Indianapolis. He's super religious. He told me at the end of our friendship, he didn't want to be friends with me because I'm not a Christian. If you think that's weird, understand that my last job coaching high school football here in Indianapolis, Indiana, was as a unpaid staff member at Traders Point Christian High is it Christian Academy or Christian High School? Traders Point High School, I think. I think. Okay. Uh, they on their job application said that they would only hire me if I was a Christian. And I'm not necessarily like an atheist. I'm a religion is dumb. It's stupid. I don't believe that hooey. In fact, the way I choose to observe religion on the whole is that since I'm not a disciple of any of them in particular, I'll hold court with all of them. So if ever you need prayed for, maybe you should ask me. And I'll just go ask all of them and just say, hey, you're all equally likely to exist, technically. And again, there's a lot of people that are like incensed at the idea of fairness when it is applied to a doctrine that you prescribe. There are going to be people, Jared, I'm a Christian. I'm a Catholic. Fantastic. The largest landowners in the world. And they want to talk about Jesus. And then you have an entire congregation of people that does not behave like they know who Jesus is. I was raised in the Methodist Church. I was confirmed in the Methodist Church. I became an Eagle Scout in a Methodist church, which is Catholic light. I knew before I graduated high school the clock's fucking ticking. There's only a certain number of Sundays of my life that this is going to get, and Wednesdays and Thursdays. Why? Because again, at some point you realize you're sitting in a room full of people that would let you freeze to death and let you be homeless. At some point, you've got to realize that they'll pray for you. And my mom ran the soup kitchen and couldn't get enough volunteers to keep from my family having to fucking run the soup kitchen. And fortunately, we had a few families that we went to youth group with, and them and their kids would come help us or they'd do it, and we had a little rotation going. But otherwise, in a congregation of 1,500 to 2,000, could couldn't staff a soup kitchen. My mom ran that shit. So like I said, yeah, that it's a cover for people to be really horrible people and then be like, and I just prayed for forgiveness and all was forgiven and I just went about my day. And it's just like that isn't how that ever works. You will wear, hey, let me give you a little piece of reality. Okay, I think it was Marcus Aurelius who said the things we do in this life will echo for an eternity. So hey, you can choose to believe, as a result of your faith, that you can make any fucking decision you want, and all you gotta ask for is forgiveness, and all is fucking forgiven. Or you can understand who Marcus Aurelius was and know that some shit that you do is forever. And a lot of it is sitting on your fucking hands. I'm reminded instantly of that quote from Boondock Saints. It's in the title of the movie in the beginning in the black screen. All it takes for evil to win is for good men to do nothing. And for those of you that haven't seen Boondock Saints, okay, you should. There's a couple of them. They're great. So yeah, for now, if you want to go to that link to Blue Sky, you can steal that logo. Okay. And if anyone wants to send me a t-shirt or hoodie, I wear 2X. I would love that. But yeah, I want to make sure that we say, in terms of the Hegseth, Waltz, Gabbard, okay. Oh my God, you idiots. Oh my God, where'd it go? Look at this shit. So you remember they were being rebuked, right, for using they were rebuked for using an unsecure messaging platform. Okay. Within 24 hours of them lying in a hearing, the private data and passwords of senior U.S. security officials found online, including who? Gabbard, Waltz, and Hegseth. So maybe there is a reason. Maybe there's a reason that you don't want to use an unsecure messaging application to discuss battle plans, because maybe it'll just end up all over the motherfucking internet. And now you've seen this regime plot military action, celebrate the you know what I would call celebrating collateral damage, which again, just so everyone understands, that's not the military. Understand, Hegseth, Gabbard, that's not military. Do you understand? There wasn't a room full of military personnel cheering on that we killed a man and his girlfriend. Do you understand? There was no high ranking military officials all extending their hand out to the president who's shaken in a moment of um like I'm thinking about in the wake of the killing of Osama bin Laden or something. There's none of that shit. Okay. So again, this is just a follow up to the biggest story of the week so far. Okay. So the order of operations goes, hey, these people were using an unsecure messaging platform to plan military activity, including classified information, like type of munitions used, type of military vehicle and aircraft used, timing of strikes, uh, who the victims. They talked about weather reports. Again, all using an unsecure application under the guise of just getting away with it. Okay, and the reality of that is after they did that, then they had to go to a hearing yesterday, and then they lied yesterday in that hearing. And it just so happens that last night, after they lied in that hearing yesterday, the editor in chief posted the screenshots he took to the internet as a sort of, oh, really? And then within 24 hours of that hearing, all of those people in, well, Waltz and Gabbard and Hegseth, all of their passwords and shit is all over the fucking internet. So there's a reason that we're kind of rehashing it. Okay? There's a reason that we're talking about it is because this story has multiple layers. It's like a lasagna. If you really it's a lasagna of legalese, you know what I mean? Where there's really like a lot going on here. They did a lot of things I'd argue that break a lot of rules. Um, yeah, Forest Service guys that were killed. What was that in Lithuania or something like that, Kelly? Um, so yeah, again, I don't want this show to devolve into dunking on this just cabal of dumbassery. You know what I'm saying? Um, I don't want this to. And again, and I also want to make sure we say, hey, it's not a screw up. It's not a mistake. Do you understand? This was intentional. This was intentional. They were intentionally using this unsecure messaging platform under the guise that the messages wherein were going to be removed. That they were gonna there was no message history gonna be retained by any of these people. They thought they were gonna get away with that. Okay, so I can assure you, yeah. I guess I've never used Signal. I got better things to do with my life than use non-text messaging, so SMS end-to-end encrypted. You know what I'm saying? There's far too many people that have thrown their lives to Messenger, WhatsApp, Signal, um, and as a general fucking rule, um, if you can't talk about it at like a restaurant in the open air, why the fuck would you put it in a messaging application that's unsecure? That's basically like having the conversation out in the open air. And in the military and in politics and shit, if you're talking about shit that's classified, there's a reason that think back with me, December 20th, 2024, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris convene at the White House. Presumably, why? A lot of people said it was so that they could be in the same room and review all of the investigations from all of these elections into. Mhm, in a secure environment, in a skiff, right? So there are policies and procedures and shit that need to be followed. And when you don't do that, there have already been consequences. There have already been consequences. Because of their willingness to use those unsecure messaging platforms, their passwords and logins have been leaked to the internet. Those are already consequences. They've already made it unsecure. Now, if you're talking about the fallout, right? Like what ends up, who fucking knows? First of all, the anti-American sentiment is at an all-time high. These foreign leaders have to be like, what the fuck is going on in the United States of America? Where is the US military? I want to remind everyone that what Donald Trump wrote, while he can't actually fire anyone, it looks like he gets away with it on its face, and he's sort of disruptive. And then a judge rules that it was illegal. All those people get hired back, right? So it really just like puts a little, kind of a blip in a radar, kind of ruins their daily routine, right? And is just a massive inconvenience, right? Ultimately, he's just a big pain in the ass. He's not really walking back shit. Okay. American flag outside in the distress position. Shout out to my neighbor who has a little bit of flag dysphoria going on. I this past week, in one flagpole hole, I've seen an American flag, I've seen a German flag, and now out there is a yellow "Don't Tread on Me" flag. So they're fucking going through it. You know what I mean? For an old man, I think it's a old veteran. He did like when I bought this house, I found out he did Civil War reenactment, and I was like, "Oh yeah, what do you do?" He's a fucking cannoneer in a Civil War reenactment. He owned a cannon. It was like sat in his fucking yard. I thought the shit was like a decoration. He shot the shit. It's real. He's put he's put rounds into the bank on the backside of his property. Shooting a fucking cannon. Yeah. Looney Tune ass motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you're empty nester, in your 50s and shit. You get some loony ass hobbies. Thank God I chose video games. I feel like such a normal human being. Oh yeah, yeah. Husband's life in danger in Yemen? For fucking sure they are. They put basically, if you're on active duty, uh, this administration is hostile to you. You know, eventually things are gonna pop, right? It's only a matter of time before the UCMJ applies, before the commander in chief oversteps his bounds. In my opinion, this shit just took the heat off POTUS, and it placed it on his fucking cabinet that he picked these people. Okay, so the good news is that it's all a self-contained turd. Okay, this it's not just a trio of turd. There are multiple people here that are just goddamn idiots. You know, sometimes you're gonna be led by goddamn idiots. That's real. That's real fucking life. Okay. But it just so happens that that conversation that they had, yeah, calls it a witch hunt and fake and hoax. It just put a lot of people in danger that don't deserve it. You know, one of the things about the military is that they're pretty politically ambiguous. It's kind of hard to be political on active duty because you have so many people from all over the world. It's such like a diverse group that being political, back 20 years ago when I was on active duty, that people were pretty apolitical. People get pretty fucking radical and liberal or illiberal, kind of depending on their experience in the military. People are super anecdotal, right? Whatever impacted them the most directly is going to shape their whole fucking life and how they are as a person. Um, I think that's fair. But on the whole, military kind of apolitical. It's kind of its own entity, an organization. And when you're the commander in chief, hey man, shit rolls downhill. He's not only gonna catch shit, but all his cabinet is gonna catch shit. Eventually, you know. I think that. this special election that just happened, hey Jerry, the special election that just happened makes the sort of comeback that the Democrats can make here possible. Because as I've said, I didn't even know who this person was that just won this election in Pennsylvania. I didn't even know about that. I really haven't seen good ad work out of the Democratic Party coming together as a cohesive unit to get behind Gay Vallimont and Joshua Wheel to make sure that they win their elections here on April 1st. That's in Florida. If you live in Florida or are a registered voter in Florida, hey, your vote is needed to give some order to democracy. Okay? He said they've had a perfect 2 months and that was his only glitch. What the actual fuck? Democrats were asking if Hegseth had been drinking while messaging in that messaging app, and that tracks. He was definitely uh, bloodthirsty. I think this is relevant. I think it also kind of goes without saying, uh, don't, no, no submarines for you. If you want to go on a submarine, join the fucking Navy. Okay? I don't know why it just sent that like 900 times, but that's a little wild. Okay? Yeah, it's really sad. But yeah, there was a submarine that sank off of the Egyptian coast. A bunch of tourists. I just want to say no, no. Some of you lack a parental figure in your life, and you have the sort of income where things like this are fucking possible. Um, no, nope. Hey, Allie. You don't need to, nope. Don't get on a submarine. Okay? If you want to get on a submarine, join the Navy. Okay? No, I can't believe it posted that, all that. No subs, no helicopters. No subs, no helicopters. That's funny to me. Oh man. Okay. I just want to make sure that somebody said that I'm a father figure, right? And so it's like, hey, good morning, Cassie. Uh, no. If somebody says, hey, I got a friend that has a submarine, no the fuck, you are not. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Not doing that shit. And I want to make sure, because we got 63 people here. Hey, here's your calendar of events. And so we'll talk about this. Okay. So kind of what's going on now. Okay. We are amidst a Target boycott. Okay, 40 days. I'd say we're in, what is this, the 27? We're like 27 days into a 40-day boycott of Target. Okay, so for those of you new to the resistance, now you know. Yeah, we are amidst a 40-day Target boycott. Got about 2 weeks left. Okay, we're also on the tail end of a no Nestle week. Okay, this is day 6 of a no Nestle sort of boycott. Okay. On that calendar that I just gave to you in a link, it says stores to boycott: Amazon, Nestle, Walmart, Target, McDonald's, Chick-fil-A, Taco Bell, Airbnb, Home Depot, and U-Haul and Planet Fitness. Okay. Now, go to the App Store on your phone and look for GUU. Okay. GUU, Goods Unite Us. Okay. There's your updated calendar. Okay. So we're in the midst 40-day Target boycott. We're on day 6 of a Nestle ban. I posted the link in the comments after you said that. Here's Donald Trump's attempt, his attack on elections. Okay. Donald Trump signed an election order calling for proof of U.S. citizenship to vote. Yeah, right. Dirty Bad Bloggers says boycotting Unilever products till they bring back the CEO of Ben and Jerry's. Jody said an executive order isn't law. Yeah, it's a memo. Hmm. Yep. So we just report in the news, Jody. So feel free to understand. I'm just letting you know that he signed an order. You know, he's attacking. I recommend, if you don't see the link, to go up to my profile, click in the link in my profile to go to my YouTube channel, where you can just click on the link in the YouTube chat. Okay. So pretty easy for me and my wife to avoid a lot of products because we eat Factor, right? Because we're not together 2 plus meals a day ish. Um, because we're kind of working opposite shifts. Um, for now, I should be changing my shift to get off at 7 p.m. instead of getting off at 9 p.m. Al Green started impeachment proceedings. Yeah, and that was the reason, Joanne. Yeah, Jess. Some of the meals you add a little salt and it hits. Um, I don't know that it's worth what you pay for it, but it's good enough for now. It'll do, donkey. It'll do. Portions are a little. Next big protest is April 5th. Okay. From the information that I'm gathering, next Saturday, okay, your state capital, noon time frame ish. Okay. Exactly, Cassie. And think about how inept this group of people are. If they wanted to, they would draft a bill They they have a Republican House and Senate and the president and the Supreme Court. They could just pass any of these things that he's had as a executive order. They could just turn that into a bill, and it would have passed. And the thing about it is, that's about to not happen. So talk about a fuck up of an administration. You want to talk about using fuck up correctly, Pete Buttigieg. Okay, the fuck up is that this regime could have really fucked us all up, and they suck so bad at their jobs. They're so awful, and it has to be said, stupid, so horrifically stupid that they are doing stone motherfucking nothing. Like, understand, all it does is hurt feelings when Donald Trump signs an executive order. It does not make what he says law. In fact, a judge at every turn but one, has said your firings are illegal, your executive order is not a legal order. So understand, so far, democracy has stood up, and I'd argue Donald Trump looks feckless. He looks weak and powerless. Elon Musk's power is waning, and that's because he's losing his entire asshole. Tesla, holy fuck. On Monday of this week, his the value of Tesla had gone down 750 billion motherfucking dollars in 4 months. That was on Monday. It's fucking Thursday. Yes, the stock has buoyed. For those of you that have nothing to do whatsoever with finance or the stock market, when a stock is in a motherfucking free fall and it buoys, that's what that's called. It's just a show. It's him rounding up the last rich people he knows, saying, "Let me make you a little money, pump this stock and dump it," which is exactly what the fuck happened. Look at the sale of his stock. It's People cannot hold on to it. It's not hot in a good way. It's hot in a fucking get rid of it way. Okay. Well, one of us works in finance. One of us has had two companies offer to pay for my Series 6. One of those was State Farm, and the other one's the company I work for now. So I also study data analytics. I'd be happy to debate this, but I'm right. So I'm arguing from the premise that I'm correct. Here's why: math, science, my education. Do you understand? You're arguing from the you're a fucking fanboy. So good luck. It already went back down. So you're already wrong. Look at the timeline. It went down yesterday. It went up and up, up and down and up this week. And he hasn't produced any new technology, he has no new ideas. His cars are all on recall right now. They're not in a good spot. Like, think about it. Can you think of any Tesla product that is supposed to come out in the near future that is a game changer? No, you can't. There isn't one. There's not a news story. There's nothing coming out of Tesla that's going to improve the value of that brand. It's dead in the water. hmm So I want you to take solace in that and know, take solace in that and know, makes you being anyway, I don't really care. I think the Guardians got it right here. I think Chuck Schumer should step down. Because he's pro-Israel, and his job is to keep the Democratic Party pro-Israel. And I am not pro-Israel. I do not accept that we have to maintain them as an ally as they commit motherfucking genocide using uh, weapons and munitions from the United States. Because Schumer, because his job is to keep the Democratic Party pro-Israel. He said it. His words. Those were his words. Because he's pro-genocide. As are all of the people that are taking money from AI PAC, like Hakeem Jeffries. 100 elected Democrats take money from AI PAC. Schumer has an Israeli passport. That doesn't surprise me. Remember that I told you Israel is a rogue nation state, dependent on the United States for support in its ethnic cleansing and genocide in Gaza. Free Palestine. Fuck Chuck Schumer. Hmm. And Hakeem Jeffries too. It's just that Schumer said it's his job to keep the Democratic Party pro-Israel, and I am not pro-Israel. I'm not pro-Russia either. Free Palestine, Slava Ukraine. See how I could just say it and it doesn't like make me cry or anything? It doesn't. No, it's just the way it is. We do not stand with Israel. I think the International Criminal Court. Jeez. And you know what's about to take a big hit? Tourism in the United States. And remember what I told you. The United States is not a world leader in any export except entertainment. And when people travel to the United States for tourism, frequently they move here too. Okay, Buffy. Yep. That doesn't change that Chuck Schumer is pro-Israel and Israel is committing a genocide. And he's still pro-Israel. Hey, I'm just letting you know, if you get a DUI and we're friends, it's gonna fuck up our friendship. Do you understand now? Does that make sense? Our relationship is gonna change when you make a decision that is gonna end up with you in the International Criminal Court. Make Bibi unable to leave fucking Israel. Do you understand? He can't go to like any of 130 fucking countries where he doesn't get arrested. He literally had to ask the International Criminal Court not to arrest him so he could go to a funeral. So no, I'm not pro-Israel. As you can see, Donald Trump is very pro-Israel. The entire reason that they attacked the Houthis is because the Houthis were attacking the Israelis who were trying to disrupt the flow of aid into Gaza. By the way, American aid and aid from our allies. You're not saying anything, Buffy. Look at what is happening to our country. What the fuck are you talking about? Trump was elected by Israel money. Trump was elected by Russian money. Every single Republican took money from Russia. And 100 Democrats took money from Israel. That's who effectively runs the US government. Russia and Israel. Remember that the US military is neither. There's a reason I can wear my unit hat with pride. Big oil companies? Sure. Russia is a colony of Israel. Their coffers must run deep. They must have actual dollars. You know what I mean? Understand, by the way, us talking at length about the Signal heist, the Whiskey Leaks, by the way, is a great name for it. Um, is a crime punishable by imprisonment, by the way. If you wondered about the severity. And if you haven't seen the text messages, here's a link to the text messages. Okay. Yeah, I know. Just a couple months from now, though. One of the things that I have been laughing about with chat for a while is 15% of it is your Russian speaking citizens. Doesn't surprise me. A lot of people leave. I mean, Russia's a massive fucking country. A lot of people are leaving Russia. I wouldn't want to be supporting either Russia or Israel at this point. But again, they must Russia just must have insane deep pockets. Oh, Super Trooper, Hillary did no time for the crime. And what crime did Hillary Clinton commit? Are you talking about emailing recipes? Please, oh, by the way, since this was a public hearing, right? Hillary Clinton was tried publicly over her email scandal. So, Super Trooper, you said it. I'm asking, what did uh what did Hillary do that was illegal, my friend? Because I've seen those emails. I've seen those emails. She was sharing recipes. She's like a nice old lady. Like, you know who Hillary Clinton reminds me of? And again, that's not a double standard, and that's a logical fallacy. You are comparing two things that are not comparable. Yeah, I got a butter emails in my yeah. Here, keep stretching yourself right off my live. How about that? So much for all the conspiracy theories, shadow government, Trump is with Russia. Yeah. Hey, the swamp got elected. Hey, Cat. The swamp is in power right now. But yeah, I did pass a link that has the text messages. James Malone in the 36th senatorial district where Trump beat Kamala Harris by 15 points in November. James Malone, remember the name. Remember, for the record, how Democrats failed to market their own candidate. Remember this. I literally could not have told you his name until just now, and I host a daily podcast where we discuss news and politics. And if I know who your candidate is, I'll talk about him, good or bad. I couldn't tell you right now who the opponents of Joshua Wheel and Gay Valamont are in Florida. I don't want to know, so don't tell me. But understand how ineffective your messaging is when who's literally, I'm on YouTube and TikTok, the two of the largest platforms on earth, and honestly couldn't tell you who's running against them. I couldn't tell you who James Malone, who just won in Pennsylvania in a predominantly MAGA fucking precinct. Okay. I couldn't have told you who that candidate was, and that's a marketing problem. Yeah. And also for all of you that are thinking about Hillary Clinton for some weird reason, understand, Hillary didn't get indicted over her emails. Just want There was a hearing and she wasn't indicted. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the things I can't figure out. Why, for the record, why didn't James Malone appear with AOC? Because AOC went out and called it a big win and the start of the comeback for the Democrats. And it's like, are y'all not on the same team? I ain't ever seen y'all in the same room. Do y'all not like each other? Is it every man for himself? Is there no understand from an outside appearance? If you do not follow American politics, you would look at the Republican Party and say they vote together. They're all idiots, but at least they're on the same team. But you can't get Democrats to do that. You can't get Democrats to support each other. It's not good for their brand. What if he loses? Right? That's what I think it is. Hey, I think this is pretty fucking cool. Illinois returns stolen land to prairie band Potawatomi Nation. I was in Boy Scouts. I always had a lot of reverence towards um, American Indians. Yeah, are they all on the same team? No, I don't feel. I honestly don't feel like the Democrats are on the same team. Here's why. Here's why. Um, if I'm a Democrat, if I'm a Democrat right now at the start of this administration, I'm not voting to confirm anyone. Do you understand? If I'm a Democrat and you're asking me to confirm Hegseth, I refuse. And I want every other Democrat to also refuse to confirm them. I don't want you to look like an idiot when they, I don't know, battle plan using an unsecure application and then go to a hearing and deny doing so. And then the fucking journalists that they invited into that conversation just leaked that entire conversation, which was absolutely a battle plan. And what they did is a crime, and people go to prison for shit like that. For the record, you typically do that shit in a secure facility, no electronics are allowed. And usually hushed tones in a poorly lit room on something that isn't even a fucking tail. I said battle planning. You're making it's one thing into another to suit your argument. Battle planning is different than a battle plan. You are trying to make battle planning into a battle plan, and that's not what I said. And I know the difference. Give me a 5 paragraph order on what the difference between battle planning and a battle plan. And I don't even know what a battle crime plan is. That's not even a fucking thing. So, also, it was a criminal round of battle planning. Dates and times, weather, vehicles used, munitions used, order of attack, all of those things, classified information. Not puts people in danger unnecessarily. Hmm. Somebody said that two of the people in that chat. No, and also they were being fired at, so they were returning fire. Oh, I mean, I'm assuming Donald Trump gave the all, do your damnedest. I'm sure he said, go ahead. This will be great. To understand if this was anyone actually in the military. Oh, you go to the fucking brig. I mean, yeah, yeah. And you wonder how far back it goes, Gabby. So yeah, I think they planned that in that chat and then told Trump and told President Musk and Secretary Trump, here's what we're gonna do, and you're gonna give us the order to execute it. You know, I want to make sure people understand that I'm guessing. I'm going out on a limb here. Elon Mu- Elon Musk is in charge. Donald Trump's the yes man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's do that. Let me snort a little blow and ketamine. I gotta go on live on TV. You know what I mean? There's a really bad wildfire in South Korea that's killed 27 people. I'm always thinking about the helpers, the firefighters. I hope that South Korea doesn't also use people that are in prison as, free firefighters. I don't know why we just got a restriction for that. I don't know why we just got a restriction. I can't imagine why. I think what I said was remotely positive about South Korea. I mean, we're gonna restart, but I think I I think I just got restricted for being positive about remotely positive about South Korea. Hmm. Hegseth is not in the military. He's a former major. I believe he was in the army. He was an Army National Guard officer after he studied politics at Princeton. Jeez. He's also been married 3 times. I want to point that out. He's 3 years older than me and been married 3 times. They must have got to Hegseth when he was at Princeton. Jesus Christ. Hey, welcome back. Here's the President of the United States saying we have to have Greenland. Again, uh, that's our ally. I mean, doesn't it seem like if you were Vladimir Putin, you would want the President of the United States to turn all of their closest allies into enemies, right? Canada, Mexico, Greenland, right? Literally having 200 people, Venezuelans, forcibly deported over a tattoo that is actually the Real Madrid tattoo. Yeah, yeah. I heard they rejected Usha Vance. Yeah. Good. Good. I want them to be uncomfortable. Hmm. Everywhere they go should never have another peaceful meal. And I want to point out Tulsi Gabbard had a sudden bout of amnesia and suddenly couldn't remember what happened. How is she the director of the Office of National Intelligence? Burp. Sorry. So again, good morning everybody. This is Justice's Waiting Room. It's a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. And I'm a socialist, and that just means I want everyone to have universal health care, education, income, and housing. And remember that a DC Circuit Court judge has disallowed Donald Trump to use the won't allow Alien Enemy Act deportations to resume. Because it's signal leak, I like whiskey leaks. But yeah, exactly what they're doing is they're going to try to turn people that don't agree with them into slave labor. I mean, think about what this billionaire class is doing, eroding labor protections, rolling back unions, there's a reason I come out and I say, okay, I've been a socialist, but I'm a socialist. And the kind of socialist that I am is called a syndicalist socialist. And that just means that I'm pro-union. And I think everyone should aspire to be in a unionized job, one where you have protection in the event that you get sick or pregnant or hurt on the job, that it doesn't. Oh, sorry, I was reading the comments. My biggest thing that I've learned in my life is that people are doing just fine until they get sick or they get hurt and have to miss work. And then what happens? They lose their job, they lose their really good job. They are struggling because they're recovering from either being sick or an injury. And eventually, what happened to them wears on them so hard that they can no longer work. Now they're disabled and essentially taken care of by the state. There's a reason that I champion a healthy, active lifestyle as a lifestyle, not just something that I try to get kids to do. This is something that I tell everyone I run into. Hey, the most important aspect of your performance on a daily basis comes from sleep. You need 8 hours of sleep minimum. You probably also need a nap during the day. You need to hydrate. Okay? It can't just be all coffee and energy drinks. I know that you need coffee. I drink coffee too. As someone that's a little older, Mona Michelle, as someone that's a little older, I find myself reaching for water earlier and earlier in the day. Also, in stopping drinking water earlier and earlier in the day, so I'm not up all night peeing, right? Is that as you get older, okay, your kidneys and your liver and stuff start to wear. You could be up every hour or two and in the bathroom. Fortunately for me, I sleep in two pretty good shifts, about 4 hours long each, which is perfectly normal. Okay. But sleep is paramount. Hydration's key. What you eat has just as much of an impact, if not a little bit more of an impact, than your exercise routine. So, all of you that are hesitating on exercising because you don't know if you would be doing it right, understand that you need to get sleep, hydration, and food and nutrition. You need to get that shit down first. Because if you're not doing that shit right, you're going to get hurt. You're not going to have the proper nutrition levels. You're not going to get stronger or faster or have the right energy before or after, right? You're going to come to me and say shit isn't working. I can't exercise because I'm not getting stronger or faster. I just feel tired and sore all the time. Okay? Typically when you're super sore, it's because you're not eating enough protein. Just so someone's told you. If you just increase your protein intake, your body is hungry for it. That's frequently why you're sore, is because you've tore up your muscles, and your muscles need that protein to heal those muscles you tore up. Yeah, yeah. Shit going on. Shit's flying off the handle with people in Guantanamo, right? Yeah. Justice cannot come fast enough, right? Yale professor who studies fascism fleeing U.S. to work in America. And again, I just want to point out, uh, WikiLeaks, the signal leak, not a mistake, not a screw up, not a fuck up, right? None of those things describes Signal Leak or Whiskey Leaks, is again what I'm telling. Mike Waltz says he never met Jeffrey Goldberg. Here's a picture of them together. They just rescued the reporter. By the way, Mike Waltz says he never met Jeffrey Goldberg. Here's a photo of them together. So, man, Donald Trump's got himself surrounded by just a bunch of cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You know what I'm saying? Like I've used the term frequently, but what an island of misfit toys in terms of Donald Trump's fucking cabinet. You know what I'm saying? Between Tulsi Gabbard and Pete Hegseth are just silly gooses. You know what I mean? That's what I think of when people say shit like using Signal was a mistake. A mistake. This is something that Project 2025 has in it. Indy said, so where's your pictures? I don't see anything. What do you mean pictures? Pictures of what? Pictures of what? They want to bring back child labor in Florida. Hey, every company wants child labor. I I can tell you, when I was young, I worked before I could drive a car. I worked at Dairy Queen, worked at Meyer, and worked at Finish Line, all before I could operate a motor vehicle. So when they say that they don't want child labor, well, they were awfully fucking willing to hire. Oh, I posted a link in the chat. Yep. There's a picture with them standing next to each other in an article from the New York, what was that, the New York Times? Yeah. So if you can't see the link in the TikTok chat, go to the top of my profile, go to the links, go to my YouTube channel where you can actually click on a link and you can actually see it. Mike Waltz was in the Kremlin and Tulsi Gabbard was in the Middle East on her personal phone while they were on Signal doing all that shit. I just can't even. And here, wanted to end with this. Okay. The last thing I wanted to talk about, right? It's like, yeah, it's about that time. Okay. People disrupting a GOP fundraiser. So understand that they still have to try to win elections too as a party. They still have to try to survive. Again, I will be saying this until I'm blue in the face. This election will be the downfall of the Republican Party. They will completely fall out of favor. There's a reason that I've said we need to establish the American Socialist Party and understand that the American Socialist Party is a pro-equality, pro-union party that wants to deliver universal healthcare, education, income, and housing to all Americans via a small change to the tax code and the legalization of cannabis. And it turned into the cash crop in the United States because of climate change. It's a good decision because of climate change, making the United States much warmer overall, and drying out the country contributes to wanting to grow a plant that requires um, a lack of moisture and high humidity. And I'm not even saying like I live in an area where we're supposed to get an above average amount of rain this year. So I'm not even saying that for me. None of the things that I want for other people are things I'm actually not getting already myself. So as someone who is a disabled veteran, okay, I've been home from the Marine Corps for 17 years. I have never had health insurance. Do you understand that? Think about what your costs are for healthcare every month. I talk to people all day, every day. I ask them about their healthcare costs. The average person spends about $300 a month on their healthcare and things like doctor's appointments and prescription drugs. Understand that I've never paid that bill. So I think that if I can get free healthcare and the US healthcare system is failing per US healthcare executives, the United Healthcare execs are the ones saying the US healthcare system is failing. I'm extending them an olive branch and saying, hey, offer the same universal health care that you do in 33 of 34 developed countries here in the United States and watch healthcare improve. There, I just solved your healthcare crisis. What if you as a patient and as the person that has healthcare, what if you didn't have to worry about whether or not your healthcare was going to be accepted? What if you just could go get treated? What if your healthcare wasn't hell bent on extracting as much money out of you as possible? And what if your healthcare was built around healing you and fixing what's wrong? Because I can tell you, as someone who's not sick at all, and every time I go to the fucking doctor and give my blood, they come back and say, "What the fuck did they put in you while you was in the Marine Corps?" And I'm like, "I don't know. There's a bunch of shots before I got on a boat." But I don't get sick ever. I am sick forever. Okay. But again, just like somebody posted there, I don't want anyone to have to go into debt to receive health care. I also don't want you getting sick to bankrupt you. I don't want your relationship with your spouse to end because it's in your best financial interest. Do you understand that? Also, don't let me forget, I'll try to do the DUI hire Pete Hegseth uh design too. So I have um the Tesla logo. I made that. Yep, people take health for granted. Remember. Yeah. Yep. And the worst part about empathy is typically it takes it happening to you for it to affect you, right? That's one of the things I've noticed in my life is that people will go their whole lives without empathy. And something will happen to them and they develop a great deal of empathy because they all of a sudden are having to feel it them fucking selves and deal with their own issues and feelings themselves, and they've never been able to do that. They've never been trained to deal with your emotions. Let it let it guide you. Let it either empower you or let it dissuade you from doing something, right? But it's about that time. Been going for about a good 90 minutes. That's what I do every day. You notice I don't ask for money. I'm not here doing ads. I'm not trying to sell you anything. Okay? I'm here to talk about what is actually going on in the world, right? We talk about actual things that are happening. Okay? Next Saturday, April 5th, is the next big protest. There are other protests, but one of the things that I've told you guys is I would be wary about supporting pop-up protests. This is how you get counter protests. This is how you get wanton violence and protests get shut down and how we get martial law. I would be more supportive of a well planned out in advance protest with permits and organizations involved. And if you ascribe to that, then you can understand why we're not protesting every fucking day, while we're not talking about a nationwide protest. Oh, well, this particular protest is for Washington, D.C. only. Okay, you fucking idiots. The United States is a massive country with 330 million people spread out all over this bitch. And when you try to have a protest and only in Washington, D.C., it's an exclusive protest. You are excluding the people that can't afford to do that, and it feels like it's still a class war where it's like, hey, when you say there's this protest in DC only, you're excluding all of the people that are too poor to go. And it's not at all being thoughtful of how this country is arranged and how, yeah, MYG, MTG, what? But yeah, I want to make sure that you are supporting organized protest. Why? I expect there to be higher attendance. And when there's higher attendance, there tends to be less counter protest, less wanton violence, and less of an odds of it getting shut down, you getting fucking arrested, and you becoming a goddamn statistic. Okay? So keep your fucking heads on a swivel. Okay? Like I said, make sure that you drink water, hydrate, eat right, exercise. You're going to get the best results if you split your workout and your movement. So if you're a I'm going to go run in the morning and lift kind of person, understand that you're eventually going to hit a plateau. You're not going to be getting stronger, you're not going to be getting faster, and a lot of it has to do with stacking activity. You need to lift in the morning or run in the morning and do the opposite work in the evening. And you need to stop kidding yourself. You're far more capable than you'll ever let yourself believe. And the reality is, you just stopped doing it right. And you need to get back in the groove of doing it right. It starts with 8 hours of sleep, hydration to keep you from pulling muscles. Okay. Once you get to the part where you're sleeping 8 hours, exercising, eating right, hydrating, what's next? Protein and creatine. You need to increase your protein intake. You probably need some creatine, it'll help you. Okay. Again, it helps get water into your muscles. It's also a brain food. Don't forget that I told you that. Okay? So, hey, have a good day. Don't let them get to you. Never let them see you sweat.